Alright, we should be good. Bye! Hopefully you guys are having a good Tuesday so far. Happy start of the week. Feels like it's been forever since I've seen everybody, but that's mainly because I wasn't here on Saturday, so been slightly longer than it normally would be. Which, honestly, I just didn't feel like it. I was just like, I don't want to do this, so I won't. So I just took the day and like fiddled around with some things, was doing things and stuff. Specifically, I was cleaning around Pinterest and all that stuff, which I should probably put Pinterest on my link tree at some point. Who knows? But I was going around with that, cleaning up and stuff. And it's just like, it finally let me put on a banner, which at some point I might have to take the time to make another one. Do I feel like I do these yearly? I might wait until, like January. Like at least sketch one up and then see how I feel about things and go from there. Anyhow, general updates. So, probably not like, gonna be a big thing, but I have all my stuff down from Redbubble, which mainly that's due to lack of returns given the work I put in there. And it was just like putting a whole lot of concentrated effort into something that's not really giving you anything back. Did not really seem like something I really wanted to do. Seemed like more of an exercise in insanity more than anything else. Which, I know some people are just like, hey, you can get like such and such off of there, but it's just like, it takes a lot to get anything off of there. Which, their threshold is a lot smaller than Twitch, but it's like you get a lot less than Twitch too. Which is the main thing, given the whole, hey, you get like, a certain percentage off, which you can change the percentage of what you earn off of there, but the higher the percentage, that cost goes to the consumer. So if you want to up your percentage to like say 20 and 30%, things are going to be stupid expensive. And given I use my stuff on there as prizes sometimes for giveaways, that's literally only my main concern, but honestly, I could probably, maybe get my stuff printed elsewhere and, get that dealt with that way instead of having my stuff up. And of course, there's potential for art theft, which I was reading a whole bunch of horror stories because it's like people get their stuff ripped off of there by other people on Redbubble. They literally have a form for it. That's how bad that is. So it's just like, why am I doing this again? There's absolutely no point. So I just took that down, and also the Patreon, which I know I don't terribly talk about much. I decided, let me just take that down too while I'm at it, just because A, it's a lot of extraneous work, and also B, it's another place to have to drive traffic to, which it takes a lot to drive traffic a bunch of different places. The less places I have to drive traffic to, the less work for me, which, all in all, not a bad thing. So, essentially, yeah, that's it in the grand scheme of things news-wise. Also, very unrelated and very much not important. Also, I'm not sure if you can even see that, really. Terribly much. Yeah, probably can't really see it, but I gotten the thing out of the candle. A friend had given me a candle for my birthday, and it's like, it came with a surprise piece of jewelry, which I was burning the candle and realized it was tunneling, which I didn't know that was a thing until I looked it up, where it's like, apparently the first time I didn't burn it long enough that it would burn evenly, so that's about as wide it was gonna go. So that was a problem. Also accidentally cut the wick too short. Also a problem. So at some point, I guess I will probably need to get a candle warmer of some kind in order to do the thing. So, yeah, that's the thing. But that's, like, not on the immediate to-do list. so it can wait. Alright, also, it's gotten dark. It was a little bit brighter earlier. God damn it. This is why I hate setting things and then all of a sudden the lights just like, we won't be doing that. I don't feel like it. Alright, so it's a good thing I have lamp, which I still need a freaking replacement cable for. Because I would really love that to stay as is, so I don't have to go buy another one. Because I feel like it'd be a waste of money if I just bought a new one. Also, whoops. Oh, is that? Yeah, I'll have to change that. I hadn't even noticed. Alright, so let's move that up a little. There it is. Ta-da! Also, let's move you over just a wee bit. So we can at least see that, although probably better if I put her this way. There we go. I changed the little cap onto a witch because Spoopy month. So I figured it was thematically appropriate. Which, I need to watch Hocus Pocus sometime this month. I haven't watched that in a while, and I have the movie on my laptop. So, that is a thing. Also, cool. It doesn't look harsh, so I can roll with that. Alright, so I'm gonna move this up a wee bit higher so we can not have that too obnoxiously close. There it is. There it is. And maybe, should I have saturation? Yeah, a little bit more saturation. Couldn't hurt. Ba-ba-da-da-dum. Because the light's a little bit harsh. So it's washing out everything, which is not helpful. Alright, yeah. It's cool enough. Alright, so as you can see, I'm doing corner to corner, although it's going to be a rectangle, not a square in shape. Which I had done this before, and then I was like, nah, maybe I shouldn't do it. And then, what's its face? Recrochet came with like a free pattern, which I haven't gotten the pattern, so I'm not copying them. Of like, say, a square one, but I'm just probably be better if I did a rectangle. Also, they were using different yarn. They weren't using dish yarn. They were using, at least for their pattern, according to them, it was, what the hell is that yarn? It's one of those yarns I have never used, so I'm not sure, but it was cotton. It was a cotton silk blend, 60% Pima cotton and 40% beach, so like, you know, synthetic beach or something like that. Let me check. I can check history. That would help me very much. No, I don't want sales and clearance items, dude. No, not orders. Okay, it's from today. I don't see it in here. But apparently they're having a book of like 50 crochet dish towel patterns or some kind. So that's the thing. I can probably go from there. Da, da, da. Also, what? Really? Quit whining. Also, hi, how are you guys doing? Hopefully you are having a good Tuesday so far. Hope all is well. Really? Oh, dishcloths, that's why. I said dish towels. Dummy. That would be why. Also, yes, I'm aware I'm not a dummy, but very hard to break out of the habit. Also, Celadon, hi! Sorry, I couldn't see chat because I had that thing going on in another window, but hi, how you doing? I was just looking at a thing. Having coffee. Yay, coffee! Coffee is always a good option. Well, unless it makes you anxious, then probably not. But yes, I am here working on a dish towel. I didn't feel like working on socks on stream today. So, doing this here. Also, wondering where the heck my yarn package is, because that was supposed to be here yesterday, and that hasn't shown up yet. I don't know what's going on. Which, the only thing I could think of is maybe USPS has it somewhere in the abyss and eventually it will get to me. Although usually I don't have a problem, because typically they do this trade-off and it's like it'll appear on their end, but I literally have not seen anything on tracking since the 30th of September. So it's like, what's going on? I've been waiting a few days, which I would call We Crochet and be like, what's going on? But I imagine if it's gone to the USPS side of things, they can't do anything to help me. So that's fun. Which I might call him tomorrow if nothing happens today. It honestly would have probably been smarter if I did sub-squares, because I need to do those, but again, things I don't feel like doing, at least on stream today, include that. Could do a couple off stream at least, to help things get sped up here, because some of that yarn in that package is additional sub-square colors, including an orange, so I don't have to wait around to figure out how to untangle the Karen Simply Soft garbage, which honestly I think I more than likely will end up getting rid of that out of my stash, or like, you know, destashing it one way or another, just because I don't like that yarn. Like, that was the one time I bought it and it was like, never again will I be buying this yarn. No thanks. Whoops. No, no, no. I've been working on this already since this morning, so it's actually a bit larger / longer than what it already was from earlier. Probably gonna do this about the length of, if not a regular one, maybe the lengthier ones. And could potentially have some stripes, so like solid colors that blend in with this, to help break up the large bits of color going on. Also, sorry I'm all the way over there. One other thing is that I do need to get some potential envelopes of some kind. But it's just, I'm trying to get a pack less than 50. Because I don't think I would need a 50 count, personally. But, however... the only time I found a 25 count, it was like a little too much for what I was looking for. I was looking for purple envelopes of like any shade, but pretty much almost all of them were like, hey, let's give us a 50 count. And it's like, I don't want a 50 count. I want a bloody 25 count. Hello! How goes, Demon? How is your Tuesday? I am griping about the inability to find a small pack of colored envelopes for a well, not a reasonable price, because the only 25 package that I got, well, not got, but the only one I found was like a little bit too much because it had like a silvery foil on it. I'm just like, if you took out the foil, it'd be fine, but yeah, the foil's a bit too fancy. Oh, fur paws. Paws. Words. Are you using some, like, fun fur yarn? Or are you using, like, regular yarn and just, like, you know, brushing out the outside? Also, what are they for? If you mind me asking 20,000 questions. Nope. Come on. For fabric. Ah, okay. It's for my... Oh. That sounds like fun. Going to a con... Okay. I was like, give me the timing. Sounds like a next year thing. But yay! Glad you get to do a thing. So let me turn it around. There we go. So I can stop wandering off as much. Ta-da! I do hope you have fun at that con, whenever it's gonna be held. Also, at this angle, I can literally feel my arm kind of getting a little bit cranky at me, and it's like, it's not even been half hour. Although I think it might also be the fact that I was doing this for like at least for like an hour before. There's probably a wee bit of strain going on there. Plus, you know, don't tend to crochet as much as I knit, so probably gonna feel strain a lot more earlier than anything. Also, I would like to stop yawning, please. All right. Do. It would probably help if I, let's see, yeah, because I keep wandering over this way, so it probably helps if I just put the camera arm a little back over here. There we go. That's better. There it is. Also, I think it's the whole fact that I tend to not use this size hook, which this is an F hook, so it is not huge. Also, I need to find one of my H hooks, because it has disappeared. I think it's dropped somewhere. Which I say one because I have 3 of them. Original one, the one that I bought, after not being able to find the original one, which I did find in like the stupidest place ever, and then one that was upstairs or somewhere at some point. So I was like, okay, so now I now have 3 of these. Okay, cool. Also, let me go back here because this doesn't feel that tight and it bothers me. Oh, okay, never mind. That's where that is. Just felt a little bit squishy to me. Dragon Rider Cat, hello, hello. How you doing? I saw you were on. Thank you for that raid. How are you guys doing? How is your Tuesday? Also, I should probably wait because there's probably an ad going on. So I'm gonna give it a minute. And then ask my question again. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Let's see. Congratulations! Alley Cat, it's been a while. Hello, how are you guys doing? And congrats on making affiliate. Yay! I remember, well, at least for me, it took a while. For some people, it doesn't take that long. So I'm like, ooh, thanks. That is cool. Let me do this and then put this down and talk to you guys for a second. Yes, hi anybody coming in with Dragon Rider Cat. Don't know if you're trapped in an ad or not. Anything's possible, but if you're not, hi. Serena Variety Caster of Way Too Many Things. Those things including knitting, crocheting, chainmail, digital, traditional art. Also I forgot weaving. Yes, sometimes games. Also, sometimes those games include Stardew Valley because I play too much of it. And if you happen to enjoy any of those things, or just enjoy the chill vibes, totally feel free to hang out, give a follow, and hope you have a lovely time here. I was talking about some updates a little bit earlier, and then got to working on this dish towel here, which I'm just doing corner to corner in a rectangle, which I'm saying about possibly adding a stripe or 2 and colors that correlate in this multicolor I have going on here. So, and see how that goes. But I hope you've made some good progress on Link Doll. Also, Alley Cat, how are you and what are you up to today so far? For me, it's not been terribly much so far. Fiddling around with some things, closing down Patreon because that wasn't doing much of anything. I'd already closed down Redbubble. There it is. Alright. So here's solid color. Yay! Which this is begonia. Oh yeah, also I was talking about the fact my We Crochet package has apparently wandered off somewhere into the USPS system for some reason. Like, I was supposed to get it yesterday, and it's like, I have seen neither hide nor hair of it since the 30th of September in tracking, so it's like, I suspect this is a USPS thing. You weren't... This is the first time I've had problems with a yarn package, so I don't know what's going on here. It's like, I swear if they lost it, I'm gonna punch someone. I swear this is not a regular thing. Fighting. Oh no! I hope you recover soon. That sucks. Chilling for doing a special. Ooh. I had to join what it is I'm making for a prize. The thing is, it was on its way here. It's like literally the last place that I saw it was somewhere in Jersey. Yeah, I'm pretty sure upper part of New Jersey on the 30th, and that was 5 days ago. And anything that comes from Jersey to here, it's literally the next day that it gets over here. So I suspect the abyss that is, you know, the mailing system once they trade it off to the postal service is where the issue lays. So that's the only reason why I haven't already called We Crochet, because if it is USPS, they obviously can't do anything. It's literally just gonna have to be like, hey, wait until it shows up. Yeah, maybe. I'm just waiting today to see what happens, because, you know, sometimes they don't like to scan things. Not common, but, at least for me, not common, but it happens. So, yeah, I'm just waiting and seeing, because a good chunk of it is basically more cotton yarn, like what I'm working with, which, I'm not sure if you saw, but I updated the shop the other day, so I have a lot more dish towel options and such. So that's happening. Hoping to see if that works out. Maybe. But yeah, it's just like, why am I have to deal with this nonsense? Oops, come on. There it is. But yes, other than that minor, hopefully it does not turn into like a serious issue of some kind. Not terribly much. Which also, I had a weird thing where Amazon, I'd say about over a week ago, nearly 2, was like, hey, we like to, you know, if we don't get this package from you, or at least if you don't return such and such thing by October 4th, we'll be charging your account the money for the thing, even though I had already returned the thing. Like, I already dropped it off at USPS. Not USPS, but UPS. And I have the receipt from when I dropped it off, and it says it had already got there. And it was like, what the hell is this? Which I already contacted customer service, and they basically said, hey, you can basically disregard this email. Which I'm just keeping an eye out. Because I had used my PayPal account to go and, you know, buy the thing in question, which hadn't worked to my liking, so I returned it. And that was the first time I've ever had an issue with, you know, Amazon returns. So I think it's just more of they just didn't have it marked as sent in their system, which I still don't think they do, based on what it says on my side last I checked. Although, you know, given it says on their end, because the person I was in the chat with said basically, hey, on their end they see it's there and it's made it there, so it's like, so then why is that email even happening? Like, clearly something in their system is not up to par. Also, other than complaining about things, one of my lovely mods, Jane Wayne, printed me some stickers of a variation of one of my emotes, which, if you can check the emote section, this is the purple heart except in pink, which I had this up on the Redbubble, so I already had that sent. And so basically these are going to be used as giveaway stuff, which that's the main reason why I want the envelopes. So it'd be really great if I could find a pack of like 25 envelopes at a not annoying price, because I go on Amazon, it's basically all 50 count at least. Even the brown craft envelopes, which I was gonna be like, hey, if I can't find it in this, I'll use the brown ones. Because I'd really want purple to go with my general aesthetic of, you know, pretty much all purple all the time. Kind of busy. Oh wait, no. I shouldn't have done that. So let me actually do this correctly, and then I will be back in a second. Apparently I'm being summoned for something. Come on. Two. Nope. 4, 5. There it is. Alright. So, yeah. I'll be back. Also, I really do need to see if I have slightly more bits of solids. I think I do, but I'll have to check in my bin of cotton. Never mind, I was not summoned. I thought I was. Never mind. Alright. Let's see. So, all this cotton stuff is basically shop inventory, so not able to use this for personal purposes. Not that I really would. Alright, do I have more of this? Okay, I see that pink color. There it is. Oh, that's a new one. Don't I have the rest of that? Okay, I apparently do not. Huh. Okay, bits of red. Because I keep all the leftover bits in this tote that I have, which is currently residing in my lap. Alright, cool. So not there. Alright, so I'll probably have to use that. It's fine. Oh, so you said cozy. That name sounds familiar, Cozy Memories Blanket. Let's see. Is that a Ravelry pattern? It sounds like it. Yep, Ravelry. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Ah, the miter's squared one. Okay. I think Rogue Knitter is doing the exact same one. Are you using those same size needles? Come on. There we go. I was clicking on weird sides here and there. Yeah. Also, this glittery stuff is from the very sparkly floof that I've been spinning, which I have more to spin. A good chunk of it is currently drying over there. You guys can't see it. But it's almost dry by the feel of it, so I'm just going to let it hang out for today, and I will see if it shall dry. Which it should be, so at that point I will probably hank it. I think it's the fact that it's not as hot as it was during the summer. That's why it hasn't dried yet. Given I'm not in a hurry to use it, that's completely fine by me. Alright, a little bit more of this. Come on, there we go. There. That'll satisfy that for now. Come on, there we are. Yeah. Oh, so sorry. I tend to zone out with this music sometimes just because I'm just like, hey, let's totally forget that I'm supposed to be chatting and doing things sometimes. Although, no, I don't need to chat the entire time, but leaving lengthy bits of silence is probably not the best way to go about things. At times, either. Oh, also, if anybody wants to check out my links, you can do !follow, and you can find my link tree there, where I have all of the links that I currently want. Also, no, I do not wish to exit. Please don't do that. There we go. I would like it if you would stay steady, lamp. That'd be great. Although it's probably partially my fault since I am leaning on this thing that I'm using as a makeshift desk here a little bit too hard. Just because it makes it easier on me so I'm not wandering out of frame every time. Oh, how long am I going? Because I've already hit the width I wanted, but yeah, I highly doubt this is 14 inches. But let me see how far I am to 14 inches. Oh, actually it's pretty close to 14 inches. Huh. That happened quickly. Because I want to know when I should start decreasing on the other side. Yeah, so yeah, one more increase this side. And then I'll be decreasing. Alright, cool. Do. So with me closing down my Redbubble shop, it's kind of like, what am I gonna do now? Although, excuse me. Must be dust around here. Yeah, probably dust, because I definitely feel throat's starting to slightly itch. I really should clean this bookshelf. It's just one of those I can't be bothered things. Just because it's hauling everything off of one shelf and then dusting off the thing, putting everything back, and then doing that again for like, you know, at least a couple of shelves. It's just like, but why? I'd rather not be doing this, but meh. Can't be helped. I think I lapsed off mid-sentence, didn't I? I keep doing that today. Really should stop doing that. So what was I saying? Yeah, because I closed down Redbubble, which honestly was not doing anything. I had honestly pondered maybe giving a good try this holiday season, but it's just like, nah. I've already put a couple years into that, and it's not really given me anything back, given all the time and effort I've put into it, so it's like, it makes no sense to do it at this point in time. So, basically gonna be, doing a slight heel turn. I'd already had started the, what's its face? I'd already started the Ko-fi shop with the wallpapers, which it's mostly wallpapers currently. A couple, although given all the material that I have from Redbubble, I can arguably make quite a few more. So that's gonna be a thing for a while, which wallpapers for like phones and tablets, which if you're part of the Discord, they will be available for free. But for anybody else, you can go grab them on there. Which it's on a pay as you'd like, so basically you can go, hey, if I want to pay more than like say $2 or $2.50, which that's about the price range I currently have it, and you can like be like, hey, here's a tip for such and such. That would be available to you. But again, nothing to pressure anybody or anything like that. Because I know these are not fun times. But it's just a thought. And come on. I'm back for no worries. Hopefully everything's alright. You've not missed terribly much. I've just been talking about, also, why am I keep knocking this over? Hold on, let's see. I go back. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the idea of being in person for anything does not appeal to me right now, so I kind of understand. And I'm guessing your job is not one that you could do remotely.
No.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure what you did, but I was like, I'm pretty sure it must not be anything that you could finagle a work remote position out of. That seriously sucks, though. Do you have to deal terribly much with the public? I don't like him. Yeah, so would I. Commissions or sales, one or the other. And again, I'm trying not to sound like I'm whining. But it's just, you know, when things are on a standstill, it kind of drives me nuts. Commissions are completely fair. Completely fair. been looking at things myself too. But at the same time, given the whole, hey, I get to be high risk, so being around people is not the best idea anyway. Very much does not appeal to me. So I'm busy trying to get things, being able to think of ways to make things work. Also, heck is... Oh wait, never mind. I think I know what that is. If I'm not mistaken. Yep, that's what I thought. Discord alert thingy. Which is obviously not making the sound since I'm live, but it's just I can see the little number that pops up. So... Also, is this the... Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Duh. Never mind. I was literally about to ask if this was the right scene, but it's like, if this were the other scene, that's pretty similar to this. There would be no frame. That is completely fair. The workplace is not an enjoyable environment. It's basically grind to get money, and sometimes not even enough money to be, you know, financially safe and secure, although heck, even to get by is a struggle. Okay, I figured you meant human. I figured you meant human, you're fine. Oh, God. I presume that was either you mistype or whatever device you're on decided that was the proper word instead. Come on. There it is. Okay. I was presuming as such, but I wasn't 100% sure. Because that seemed like a mobile thing to do. Alright. Alright, it's about break time, but I'm gonna finish this row and then take my break, which hopefully should not take terribly long, and then do my bit of stretching and such for the first hour. I try to take a break pretty much every hour just because, you know, my back and essentially my neck will very much hate me if I don't take breaks. Especially when I am hunching over my work, which is that is a thing I am prone to do at times. Prone to do. There we go. So, yeah, stretching is important. Also, you know, that kind of helps out your circulation, which is also very much important. But yeah, there are times where it's like, I'll just sit there for hours, and it's just like, you should probably get up and do things, you know, and then don't. But I'm trying to be much better at that now. Not always. But I'm a lot more mindful of that when I used to be at, you know, 15 and 20. There we go. Sorry if anybody heard the crunching of my hands. Also, let's switch up my grip so my hands are not absolutely angry at me. More so my right hand than my left. Alright, we're almost there. Also, if I'm wandering out of frame, that is my bad. I try not to do that, but that is a thing that happens. Especially when I'm not paying attention, which is why I like to have OBS in my face, so I stop doing that as often. Come on, there it is. Alright, 1 or 2 more squares. Well, actually no, 3 more squares. But I do enjoy how this turns out with the multicolor. I am gonna have to weave in the little areas, so whenever I take pictures it doesn't look weird. But also, this looks a lot better in the it doesn't curl up department. Unlike the ones with the cables that I do, which, depending on what happens, I might switch to this instead of the cabled ones. I feel like those would probably, depending on things, maybe be a bit more popular, but I'd rather leave those alone for a little while and see what happens. Maybe. Because, you know, success and stuff does not happen overnight. Also, I was gonna mention Iron Chef stuff, but probably gonna save that until after break, given I'm almost done, so although it's not terribly important or anything like that. But it's mainly just the whole, hey, I'd found an episode I hadn't seen before on there. I just did a general YouTube search. Which, it makes me sad that more than likely you're not gonna get like really good quality episodes of Iron Chef, really. Just because the whole, hey, DVDs were not really a thing at that point in time. Which I think I've mentioned this before, but it's just like, if the show had only started, like, say, a couple of years later, maybe. Although, if it started a couple of years later, maybe some of the people who were in it wouldn't be in it. Alright, I had said one more, I think, right? Because I want to make sure if I should increase or not. Because if I leave there... Yeah. Increase it is. Cool. No! Son of a... I hate when I do that. Luckily I can pull that back in. One, 2, 6. Square the thing, and then go on from there. which it'll probably go a little bit faster given this is going to be should be the last increase on this side. So I'm basically increasing and decreasing essentially on the same row, thus keeping it even, which is how, if you're going to do corner to corner for rectangles, you'll typically want to do that. Alright, so yeah. About here, and then, alright, so break time for me. Alright, so it's 7 minutes, and given I want 10. Alright, cool. I will be back in about the usual 10 minutes. Totally feel free to, grab some, tea, water, whatever the case may be, your beverage of choice. The past 10 minutes, which is good. I prefer not to be dropping frames. Let's move this over a little bit. And we are back. Let's see. Is there anything really to discuss before I jump back into this? Nothing really at the moment really stands out to me that I really need to discuss. Pretty much shot about any, major things on the top of the previous hour, as I was getting started, so not terribly much. Although now I can't seem to find my other stork scissor. That's fun. I was looking for it, so it must have dropped somewhere in here, so probably have to go looking for that. Let's see. Let's cut that. Come on. I try not to use this for yarn just because this doesn't really cut as cleanly. But given I don't see where the stork scissor is, it makes sense to just use that instead. But I had heard something drop, if not today, earlier the previous one, so that might have been the scissors. Who knows? So let's get started on another row here, which we should be, after this one, it should be straight decreasing, which should make this a lot more faster, although I'm not in a hurry in any way, so Also, let's move that the way since that's shiny and reflecting off the light right there. Well, actually, probably be better if I put that over here, so it's still in reach, but not in my way. Because that was where my arm is, and I'd like to not nearly stab my arm. That would not be fun. Also, okay. There's that. I apparently missed things. Chat is much chatty. Not here, but in Discord. I was just like, what's going on? But that looks like something I could probably look at later. It doesn't seem that anything that wants my immediate attention. So anybody have any ideas of where they could potentially get, if not stickers, like say prints printed, given the whole... I could probably technically still do that, given all my listings on Redbubble are currently visible to only me, but I do think I might want to outsource my printmaking. Although I've actually never had prints made of my art before. So that would be a thing. Like, to have a thing as a giveaway prize that I could potentially just be like, hey, put this in a... If not a 4x6, something slightly larger than that, not like a huge print. Unless it's like for a special occasion or some kind. since pretty much I have stickers covered. Although I think I want to space out the die cut ones just because sometimes die cut ones are kind of a little bit annoying to peel off. Not impossible, mind you, just given, you know, the backing and the actual sticker are exactly the same in size. It's hard to get the two to separate. It's kind of like when you're opening a garbage bag and, you know, the seam is being really annoying sometimes. Well, that or one of those, what's its face? Those plastic bags in produce that you tear off. Those do the exact same thing. You have to fiddle around with it a wee bit in order for it to, you know, actually do the thing like it's supposed to. So yeah, I have a thing about that, and it very much irks me. And I think I mentioned this here, if not last week, or yeah, possibly last week, that I managed to get 2 months free of Kindle Unlimited, which my only problem is the whole, hey, the selection is not the best thing ever. Although there was a series that I was planning to look at, maybe, which I decided, I was like, let me look at that then. That was essentially same universe as one of the previous ones I had read. I had a Kindle Unlimited for free. I think it was also for 2 months. This was a while ago. But, you know, given Kindle Unlimited doesn't give you access to every book, which I get why, but it's like I feel like they should have better, or at least more, variety in what they have accessible. I mean, it does help that I have Access 360, which is one of those apps that you can digitally check out library books. Which I hadn't done that in a little while, so maybe after this Kindle Unlimited free trial thing is done, I will probably go back to doing that again. Although 2 months would be like right in the start of December, which depending or not might be a crazy time, so we will see. Which the one thing I do like about, you know, digital library books is the fact that, hey, you don't have to worry about if, you know, if your book is overdue. Not that I was one who terribly did that a ton, but you know, it happens sometimes. And it's a thing. Because even if your library is, like, you know, really close to you, you can't always have the time to be like, hey, let's just roll over to the library, especially now. So it's like, it allows for a bit more convenience. But I know digital books are not everybody's thing, so I imagine it's 50-50 on that. So yeah, other than books, basically me watching stuff like, say, again, Iron Chef on YouTube is kind of my deal at the moment. Although, after stream today, I am probably going to be working on sock at my glacier pace. Like, I don't know why. I think it's because the whole having to do all this damn chart stuff is making me not want to do it. But I'm on the gusset point, so it's like things hopefully should go quicker. Because, you know, it's knitting on the bottom of the foot, but it's chart on the top side of the foot. So, less chart. Which is always a yay. Because sometimes I need a break from charts. Charts annoy me sometimes. You can make pretty stuff out of using charts, but after a while it's just like, I don't want to be having to stare at this chart again. I'm not saying that they're terrible, because, you know, some of my favorite patterns involve charts, especially sock patterns. Like the dither sock. Which is, I think that's still a thing on Ravelry, if, you know, you can deal with that, but essentially it's like, say, a color shifting pattern where essentially you're going from one color to another and then arguably back again. Although I have not done like a full-length dither sock, but I think that's mainly because it's just, hi, I don't want to stare at this goddamn color chart any further. Which, given, you know, if not last year's Sock Madness, yeah, definitely more last year's Sock Madness. Certainly a bit more, or at least color-coded chart heavy, but, you know. This year's one back in March, definitely also more charts. Although I think it's more of the fact that it's like, hey, competition says you must move at the speed of light or else. You kind of get over that real quick. Oops, and that is supposed to be double, not a half double. Try again. Also, I do recall, I think, right before I was going to do my break, I think I was mentioning Iron Chef a bit just because I just found an episode that I hadn't seen before, because I had seen at least a good chunk of the ones available here in the US. Just because there are some, I think, that are region locked, which I'm not sure why, but it's a thing. Like, what makes these episodes so special that, you know, hey, we need to region lock these and save the good stuff, and it's like, guys, what are you doing? Hold on. I'm gonna need to do that. And you're probably not hearing it terribly much, but I can see the mic picking up. There we go. I really would love it if she'd stop being stupid loud on the phone. That would be great. What was I saying? Iron Chef stuff and things. So yeah, I really do honestly recommend that show just because, you know, you can kind of see like the origin points of all of the other cooking competitions if it happens to be your thing. You can definitely see where some of the stuff comes from. I don't know if it's like the first, but it certainly was one of the predecessors to all the ones that currently exist. Come on. I probably should have gotten more multicolor the last time. But it does help that I got an email, so what do you mean I think? I know We Crochet / Nitpicks are going to have another sale already, which they're kind of almost always having sales, so I am not surprised. I don't know how much off it is. I'd probably have to check my email, which I can check now because my phone is in front of my face, so I can probably do that. Da-da-da-da. Geez, all the people went live. Oh, also, just as a general thing, not gonna be having any jump scares or any crap like that given it's spoopy season. Just to let you guys know. I mean, my whole general vibe is being chill, so not exactly a surprise, but just in case anybody is, you know, worried about that sort of thing, ain't happening. No jump scares, no scary alerts or anything like that. It's just not my thing to begin with. Plus, it's like, hey, we've been through enough. We don't need that crap anyway. So, yeah. Not happening. Ba-da-da-da. Also, where is that thing? I saw that thing. It was a couple of days ago. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Billing. Audio ads. Yeah, it was 5 days ago. Yeah, so basically a short sale from the 7th to the 11th. Oh, apparently there's an I Love Yarn Day on the 9th. That's why. I'd forgot. So they're having another 20% off sale, which I imagine if you want to get yarn for holiday gifts and that sort of thing, definitely wait until then so you can get your 20% off. Which the 9th is probably Sunday, if not Monday, if I am not mistaken here. Nope, Saturday. I was like, it's close, isn't it? Indeed, closer than one might think. Oh, that's coming from there. Okay. That's general that updates. Also, I've been pondering once again potentially getting a bike, even though, you know, certainly getting close to the end of being able to ride a bike outside season. Because it's like, once fall's here, that means winter, where it's stupid cold. And you know, the potential for snow is not that far behind. Although, I honestly do miss having a bike. Although I haven't had a bike since I was 10. Like, it's been a while. Plus, you know, the whole, hey, not much clear space to be riding bikes around here, so that's unfortunate. I'd probably have to go to a park if I wanted to, you know, ride a bike and not have to worry about, you know, potentially getting run over. Plus, I kind of want to avoid people at all costs at this point in my life. Unless it's absolutely necessary. At the same time, if I did ever get a bike, although I think I'd probably have to save up for one of those a bit. Even if I got, like, say, you know, an indoor bike, which... How much are indoor bikes? Those things are, like, if memory serves, a good one, like, several hundred. I mean, yes, you can probably get some used, but at the same time, if I got one used, I would obviously have to make sure, hey, this thing is not, you know, licensed to potentially mangle me upon using it, or, you know, have to wipe down everything as soon as it comes in here. Plus, I don't think I'd even have a space around for, you know, that sort of bike. So it's just like, I don't even know at this point. Alright, so I'm just double checking that this should be about where I start just straight decreasing on both sides here. Where is... There it is. Okay, yeah, we're good. All are decreasing now. Yay! Because I was sick of increasing one side while decreasing on the other. Also, let's see if I missed anything. No, I did not. Cool. Yay. Because I realized I hadn't checked if I'd missed any alerts. I figured I hadn't. Also, it is not helpful that the bot did not take that raid into account. That's kind of your job, bot. To make note of things. But also kind of why I have the dashboard open, although the dashboard's not fully on top of things anyway, given, you know, hosts with less than 3 people are not accounted on it, which is very much annoying. But I think they don't do that, well, it still comes up as an alert, but, you know. Sorry, just thinking out loud, which arguably that could be the entirety of the stream so far. Although, that is how I am at times. Do 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 do. I might put another stripe of the pink, although arguably this is not even a full stripe, but I just wanted something to potentially break up the monotony of the multicolor, although one could argue multicolor is not monotonous. But it's just like I want to at least have a break of some kind. The one thing I am glad for, these tend to go at least a wee bit quicker in comparison to the cable dishcloths. The garter stitch ones, though, probably go the fastest. Just because my hands tend to probably complain a little bit, given I don't crochet as much. So long bouts of me crocheting tends to make my hands very irritated at me. Specifically my right hand more so. Just because of the, you know, movements of my hand. Let's see if I can get that to do the thing. Let's pull off this and then still have a bunch of that. So I should be fine lengthwise. I was gonna do a G on this, but I felt like it might be a little too holy, so I went with the F, which I feel like it still drapes enough. Like, I can definitely feel it's like a little bit stiff in places, but I feel like once it's washed, it should, like, you know, at least allow for a little bit more drape to it. But, you know, given crochet sometimes tends to be a bit more, depending on the hook size and the yarn you're using, tends to be a bit more stiff, so that is also a thing anyway. Also, I forgot where the hell I am. Oh, right there. It's just that flip that way. This is what happens when you start rambling and then forget what you're doing. So I think once this piece is done, I will probably come on. There it is. Ah, nope. There it is. I put my hook in the wrong space there. Oops. No. There. This is not a half double. Please come out of there. There it is. There it is. There it is. And how many squares here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, so about 13 rows, and then this should be done. Given it's gonna be straight decreasing every single row. Oh, where'd that knot come from? Come on. You can do it. There it is. Oh, that's kind of aptly timed. I'd honestly pondered doing the face scrubbies in this pattern that I have in the shop too, but it's just like, I'm not sure if those are abrasive enough. Although, arguably, I probably could use the... if not the face scrubbies, but the actual dish scrubbies, given I have a bit of that yarn. And I do wonder how that would work out, so I think once I'm done with this, I might do those instead, given that's a lot smaller and a lot less work for me. Ah, why are you like this? Please stay over there. No one asked you to fall down. And what's this one? The gray. Whee! Which I still have a ton of this, well, not a ton, but I have a good chunk of this stuff, so let's see. That and what is this? Yeah, deep gray. My only annoyance with this stuff, well, other than the price, although I only buy this stuff on sale whenever I really could get it, which I haven't stocked up on more, so essentially whenever those scrubbies are done, I'm probably not going to be at least using that yarn any further. But the main thing is the whole they don't have solid colors. I don't mind that they're multicolors, but I definitely would like some solid colors. Like, at least Dishy has both solid and multicolored. Like, at least those are two options available to anybody wanting to purchase them, but, you know. I guess not every company can be like that, but still, it annoys me. But Red Heart does have their own scrubby line, but I feel like scrubby yarn line in like solid colors, but that stuff is also a wee bit pricey, in my opinion. Like, I think it's about $5 for one of those. I would have to double check. Although I imagine the Ye Old Plague is not doing any favors on prices for those, especially for, you know, stuff to be shipped. Also, if anybody wants to use your channel points, not the bot channel points, but the Twitch channel points, definitely feel free to do so. Although, I know, given I reset them the beginning of... I take that back. It was the bot channel points I reset. I didn't reset the Twitch channel points, because I don't think you can actually even do that. I mean, you can turn them off and turn them back on, but I'm not sure if that would reset anything. Although, I'd be curious about that. Come on. There it is. Also, the other reason why I kind of want to do these, the corner to corner, is the fact that I could potentially use scraps, so like the small little balls that potentially left, like say if I do a set of dish towels, like say if I do 2 of the 9x14s, which that's what this size is, 9x14, we just don't have the last corner, but yeah, if I happen to do a set of those, which would probably be like say 1 and 1 and maybe 1/3, give or take, of the Dishy. It would certainly be helpful to know what to do with, you know, the scraps. Do. Come on. Oops, I split a stitch. Let's try that again. Come on. Probably not going to be finished by the time of next break, which is actually pretty soon. I imagine at least should be done before the end of stream. I think I'll keep this color for the next round and put back the other bit of this berry basket color I have going. Although with these, I tend to use a G-hook, so I'll probably have to see about getting my G-hook maybe. Although, I imagine with an F it'd probably be alright. Shouldn't be too stiff, but it should be alright. No, come on. Art-wise, minus the taking down of stuff and things, I've been enjoying these so far, even though it's been today's only day 5, so not terribly much been going on so far with the, Drawtober and all that stuff. Which I'm honestly refraining. I took out the ones that I'd used the Inktober thing from just because of the whole mess going on there, so I'm just like, I may not use that. Even though I'm very well aware probably using the Inktober tag would probably get me a lot more views, but it's like, I'd like to not get pulled around in that mess. Although, I was saying the other day when someone had mentioned it, that it's like, it's kind of difficult to, copyright art to a degree. Just because of the circumstances. But, whether or not, things turn out to be the way that happened, I just rather that's weird. I just rather not, at least be in that realm of, what's the word I'm looking for? Realm of chaos. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. So, also, given the whole Redbubble not being a thing anymore, even though I have the pumpkin going, I think I'm gonna have that be a wallpaper, which I actually have not had a chance to poke at that. I might have to see about poking at that pumpkin I was working on last week, Wednesday. Might have to see about dealing with that after stream, if not that sometime in the morning tomorrow, once I get the chance to. Because there's not terribly much to do for it to be done. Girl November! Hi! I'm actually about to take a break pretty soon once I finish this row, but hello! How you doing? Not terribly exciting things going on here. I am just here crocheting dish towel. I'm on the phone, so I just got back to my... Ah, okay. That's completely fair. Yeah, come on. No, I had not had a chance to call them, because literally after, I talked to you guys, I literally was getting set up to get on here, so I have not had a chance to be like, what's going on here? And I'll probably do that immediately after stream, since they still should be open, since, what's their schedule, like 9 to 5? I believe, for their calling times, if I'm not mistaken. I've only had to call them like once. Yeah, so I definitely should have. Or 9 to 6. Okay. Yeah, either way works perfectly fine for me. But yeah, I am like on the latter end of this crocheted dish towel. I think I have like, say, 11 more rows left going on here. This is like 9 by 14. Which I'm using an F hook, so that's the only reason why it's taking a wee bit longer. But I'm using the F hook just to avoid having, sometimes the holes that happen in corner to corner be that blatantly obvious. Alright. Oh, so I think I have somehow... That's, berry basket mixed with a little bit, which right now it's in begonia. But yeah, majority berry basket. Ah, the hell did I... Oh. I was like, where the hell did everything go? The mouse just did the thing where it's like you put the thing down and everything disappears other than the desktop screen. Which that is always disconcerting. Alright. I'm gonna leave that about here-ish. Yeah. Which, let me see how many rows there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was right, 11. Alright, cool. Alright, so I'm gonna get up, might grab some grapes or something. And I'll be back in about usual 10 minutes. Sock Wizard, hello. Hi. How are you? It's either Plinko Reset or Reset Plinko, all one word with an exclamation point. I always forget which way it's supposed to go. I think it's probably said, I am terrible at keeping it straight. I don't want to just start throwing the commander out there. Fair. But I think it's like anybody who is not me or one of the mods can't use it anyway, so if you did, it would be alright. Neat looking thing. Dish towel, actually. I'm just doing corner to corner style, because I wanted to see how it would look. Which I had done this before, but this time I'm adding a little bit of one of the colors that are, it looks similar to it in here. Just to see how it looks. And we're pretty close to being done, I'd say. Like I said, 11 more rows, and then might try out that same thing with the scrubby yarn I have here. But how are you doing? How goes your Tuesday? I hope everything is well. Yes, you mentioned that. Oh, yay! Yeah, you hadn't mentioned how it turned out. I have to make it some more. That is usually how that turns out, but yay! I'm making hats to donate. Aw. Which charity? Yeah, come on. Pull through there. Thank you. Come on. And honestly, probably help me to... There's always a... That's coming up. I actually didn't realize they had a Fiberfest. Because I'm not around there terribly often, so... That's the thing. I'm like, that is cool. And I'm probably going to be looking that up. I had no clue that was a thing. Actually, I can probably just do this and then... Without even have to typing anything in. Yay! Temporary closed. Oh! Huh. Oh, that's been going on for like the 10 years now. Huh. Smallish. Yeah, it looks nice. I will definitely have to look at that in more detail. Because I'm obviously not saying where for, you know. Miss it this year and go. Oh. But honestly, given the fact this year everything's back, well, at least I think everything's back to being in person. So I imagine everyone snatched up tickets like there was no tomorrow. I would like to eventually go to one of those sometime, but the whole, hey, this is upstate thing, I'm just like, meh. It's like, even if I could drive, I don't like the idea of having to drive upstate just to get to a thing. But yeah, either way, hey, at least you get to go to a thing now. Locally. Which I'm presuming it's basically like right back in a good chunk of quality is just, you know, at a smaller scale. But yes, in general, I would like to go to a fiber festival of some kind. But I would probably have to save up just to make sure, you know, I didn't leave with no money by the end of it. Well, I don't know if they have... Fair. Fair. That would be interesting in the middle of Brooklyn. Just regular sheep. Oh, so I did a healthy thing and shoved grapes in my face. during break. I'm trying to be at least a little bit good and actually have fruit every so often. Because I am terrible at that. Because I'm very picky about things. It's like, the bitter and the cereal thing. Texturally, I hate it. Because milk makes bitters look, or at least me, feel very goddamn slimy, and I hate it. I was in the last year on Spin and take note if there were any vendors. I feel like there would be, but again, things I don't know. Typically, how much is it for, a ticket there? Come on. Come on. Nope. No tickets. Oh, okay. You just go. Okay. Nice. I will definitely keep that in mind. Although I highly doubt I will be able to get a ride over there just so I could peruse some yarn. Although I'm on a very tight budget anyway, so I probably won't be able to buy anything. Which is not helpful. Oh, let's move you over here so I can actually see things. Oh, so I have an idea of where I will be probably hosting, which hopefully they will show up. Let's see, plan to be playing Words on Stream, which, as we know, is my goddamn favorite game. Or at least one of them, so that'll be a thing. Nope, come on. There is. Let me close the door again. Really wish would not have to do that, but it'd be great if my mother would stop yelling on the phone. But she's completely incapable of not doing that, so there. Oh, also, I was mentioning this earlier, but candle that friend gave me for my birthday, I got the thing out of it. Which is a necklace, but you couldn't really see it because it is actually very dainty. Which that is my only real concern about this, given it's dainty. It's sterling silver, so it's not gonna, rust or anything, but this side. There it is. It's really pretty. Also, I am glad this actually fits my neck because I kind of like the lengthier necklaces, like say about 20 inches and onward. Luckily it's adjustable enough to do so. Unfortunately I had to kind of dig the thing out because the first time I burnt the candle I didn't burn it like it should, and it's like the edges weren't burning, and given where the thing is, I kind of had to dig the thing out. It's soy wax, so I honestly could just pack it back in. But given how much candle is left, I'm gonna need to probably get a candle warmer at some point. So that's a thing. But yeah, thing is pretty. Which, there's actually two of these. There's one that comes with the necklace and one that comes with the ring. Which, there's a whole bunch of these. And it's really, really cool. Also, I do love the scent of this candle, too. So I very much want to use the rest of it. because it's 12 ounces, so it's gonna be a while before that gets finished. Which I was looking at candle warmers on Amazon, which I think those candle warmers can also double as, like, you know, a mug warmer. So, you know, if your tea gets cold, you can do that too. But given that's, like, you know, not a immediate necessary need, I'm putting that on my maybe for Christmas as a gift to myself sort of deal, maybe. But yeah, my only concern is about potentially breaking this thing, given, you know, the chain is pretty dainty, but hopefully it should suffice. But this is basically, you know, the Cancer constellation, which that is really, really cool. Alright. Although my only thing is that they have it in a little plastic bag, and that's wrapped in tinfoil, and I'm just like, you think maybe there's like little loops on the edge here, so, you know, if anything came to be, heck, maybe I could probably, you know, with some chainmail and some tiny rings, potentially make myself a new chain. Probably not as dainty as this, because rings this tiny, I'd probably go blind if, you know, I tried that. And I like my eyesight, so yeah. But I love it a lot, and it is pretty. So at the rate I'm going, I might not be able to get to doing that today, but it'll be fine. I could always do that off stream, although But yes, being able to do at least some level of chainmail stuff now makes it more likely than pre-chainmailing that I'd be able to actually replace the chain. Very much helpful. Yay, skills! Also, yay, learning new things. Which, Girl November, you were talking about that earlier. Like, learning new things is very much an important thing to grow and all that, which very much agreed. I still need to get back into my Chinese, but it's just one of those, I keep doing other things, and it's just like, I should get to that at some point. Which is why the bot, whenever, like, someone, like, talks for the first time, it says, ni hao, and such. Ni hao, said person's name. And sis, for any, you know, tips or bits and that sort of thing. Because I put that as a preemptive sort of thing. Also, I do hope my accent is passable. Because it's been a while. Which also I still have like my 3 Koreans, but at least yes. I was only thinking that because I used to be better at talking it than, you know, you have to, yeah. And given with, you know, languages like these, tone matters too, because if you say it a different way, it can mean an entirely different word altogether, which, could either mean garbled nonsense or means that you've probably insulted someone. So it's like, that's one of those things I'm always kind of mindful of. Do 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 do. Oh. I was like, where's my scissors? My scissors are over here. Also, yeah, these don't cut all the way through. I have to cut twice. Really, I'm gonna need to find my little stork scissors. Which hopefully it's in a somewhat reachable corner. I have to go like hunting around for things. Which technically there were two of them. I don't know where the first one went, so me losing that one would not be fun. Although watch, the first one's in some weird space. But it's like, I know it didn't leave this house, so it's like, where'd it go? And it's always when you want stuff they disappear too. Scissors and things of that like. It's like, really? Like, you could disappear when you're not wanted. That would be great. Oops, come on. There it is. Also, blurb about my general schedule. I am typically on today, so Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, although there are sometimes I would like to take Saturday off, which I did this past Saturday. Because I was really not feeling streaming, so I was just like, you know what? Let me not do this and do other things. Which is essentially what happened. A day off, yeah. That is also a thing I'm trying to work on. Because it's like, you know, sometimes it's just like, you don't feel like doing anything, but it's just like, you gotta push through. And other times it's like, you should, you know, actually take a break from some things. And give yourself time to breathe. But sometimes it's hard to know the difference between the two. So it's like, which one is which? But yeah, I was just like 100% not feeling it, so. And I'd argue that was definitely a good thing. Because if I had forced myself to, that would have probably not been a fun time for anyone. Nope. Come on. There it is. Plus, it's not like the worst thing to take a day off. Also, it was nice to kind of have a full weekend to myself. Because it had been a while since I had, you know, the full weekend to just be. And not have any seriously pressing obligations. I know, but you know, capitalist society. It's kind of ingrained in everyone that, hey, you know, if you're not working, you have to justify yourself. Which, it's like, if you don't rest, you can't work to, you know, the best you can be. And even if, you know, you're not working towards, you know, working again, you still deserve to, you know, take a break. Whatever the case may be. But it's just really, really hard to unlearn that. Also, what was I? Oh, I had shown these earlier, but you were not here for them. Jane Wayne, which I'm not sure if she's around, I don't think so. Yeah, about this point she probably should be back to doing the school stuff and things. But she had so kindly printed me a couple of stickers out of, one of the emotes. Which, that's the purple heart one, except in pink, which I had this in the Redbubble store, which, for anybody who wasn't aware, I shut that down because that was not doing anything for me, so I was just like, let's not do that. And put some energy into other things. So basically these stickers are going to be for, you know, whenever somebody resubs, and this is going to be one of the options on the sub wheel. Which I already put it on the sub wheel. That and the glitter stickers, I just need some envelopes. Because I actually ordered some stamps. A sheet of 20 stamps, which should be here hopefully by this weekend. I hope. If not, early next week. So yeah, I just want envelopes, but my only issue in that one is the whole, I would like a small batch of envelopes, not, you know, 50. I don't need 50 envelopes. I just need, like, say, 25. I mean, probably good to have 50 on hand in case I need to restock or something along those lines. But to keep guess. Yet not being fully abled makes it, like, a plethora of times harder. Are we talking? Yes, we are discussing envelopes. I was saying, basically trying to get a small amount, less than 50, seems to be an annoying issue. Because I was hoping to maybe get some, like, purple envelopes, because me, of course I want purple. But honestly, if I could have gotten, like, any color with a set of 25, maybe. I found a set of 25, however, it was a little too fancy for my liking. Like, it had, like, a silver edge on the flap where you close, and I was just like, we don't need to be that upscale. We're good. I just want some regular 4x6 purple envelopes. Which, they have a plethora of colors available, like some neon colors. It's crazy. They have purple, just not in the quantity I'd like. I was looking on Amazon. I honestly would take 5x7. I'm fine. But I feel like given, you know, it's just gonna be, you know, business card, sticker, and maybe a small thing card that I put in there, 4x6 would probably be more reasonable compared to, you know, a 5x7. But yeah, I was looking at Amazon just to see what I would find. And probably gonna look elsewhere to see if I can get some. Which, even if they're not purple, I'd be fine. Stationery, probably. But it's just, I would like... We have a lot fair. But I'd like to be able to find some online at, you know, a reasonable price. Because given, you know, the whole... slight slowdown in Twitch payouts on my end, which that's the money I tend to use for stuff like this for inventory and things of that ilk. Yeah, it's... Let's not get into that. Let's not get into that whole thing. But yeah. Do not have a lot of funds in that area, so I'm trying to, you know, see what I can do with what I have. Which, buying a set of 20 stamps, which, when did stamps... I started finding card sets instead of just envelopes because mostly the... fair. That is completely fair. I wanted to avoid the cards because I figured I wouldn't send the cards because, you know, I like, you know, doing the cards myself, but depending on what I find price-wise, I might have to do that, but it just annoys me. Like, it should not be that hard to find a small quantity of envelopes available. Because, like, not everybody has, like, you know, at least 50 people they need to invite to places. Or whatever the case may have you. And also, I tend to not really like get into like really pretty stationery. Although I love looking at pretty stationery, like whenever someone sends stuff and it's like, oh, here's a thing, and it's like, oh my god, look at this cute thing. Just because, A, that's a rabbit hole I don't need to get down because I don't have space for that, also don't have the money to throw into that. But it's like, look at the cute things, and it's like, no, you don't. Don't need that right now. But I'm guessing the more reason why that it's only like 50 or above in envelopes is probably because of the cost to, you know, make and send those. It probably makes sense to at least send 50 in order to, you know, 48 cards for about 12, so I go with what I can find. I usually print them out. But, yeah, no, the ink goes. That's why I like to hand draw it, but, you know, if it goes on a large scale, like, you know, you need to send out 12 or something like that. Obviously, having the pre-made cards is highly vital. But that's also why I try to pre-draw stuff sometimes, although I don't always get the chance to, which I have not done that in a while. Which, given I'm doing the monthly drawing thing, which, that reminds me, I'm about halfway through that tiny sketchbook. I'm close, if not about halfway through, so I'm gonna need to go see if I can find another sketchbook I can buy. If, you know, not in that same... not that same brand, which I might not do that, and I might get a different brand. Which I personally would like a hardcover, because I like hardcover sketchbooks. Personally. But my sweet spot is probably about an 8x8 when it comes to those. So I've been like looking at those for a while. And I have a couple options and I'm probably going to go through it. But I personally would like something like a mixed media. Because I don't want to wait until, you know, that's good and finished before I consider that. Because especially holiday season, stuff like that becomes... difficult to find because those are, you know, especially for artists, good gifts of some ilk. Come on. Oops. No, we are not doing half doubles. We're double crocheting. Thank you kindly. I mean, the sketchbook is not on the pressing list of things, so again, I can wait until, like, at least the end of this month. I will. No worries. I have a wee bit of time until I head off anyway. I do want to finish this at least. Which, if I need to, I might go overtime for that. But I don't think I should be required to do so. Also, a thought I had with a friend, specifically the one that had the chicken show up at his and his fiance's place that one time. It's kind of funny given Disney gets its claws on everything, because I used to confuse Anastasia with Disney because it was kind of their setup, but that was Fox at the time. Yeah, I believe it was Fox who produced that movie, but now since they own Fox's entertainment stuff, Anastasia is now Disney. So it's like, it was not a Disney movie when it was made, but now it's technically Disney because they own that production company, and it's like, all roads lead back to Disney. And that is not a good thing. Because Disney doesn't want fucking competition of any kind. And it irks me so bad. Like, come on. You'll be fine if you don't get, you know, that $2. Like, you're fine. You will live. Plus, I feel like that would allow for more creativity in things if, you know, Disney was not, you know, holding on to everything for dear life. I like some Disney movies, even though there are bones I have to pick with them. But at the same time, it's like, I have problems with you, Disney. Many problems. Comes to mind to me as Paper Jam, and no, not it looks like you can get little purple envelopes quantities of 25 or more. Ooh! Thank you! The killer would be shipping, which is $7. Well, not terrible, but it depends on how much they are. But let's see. Jam paper. I will type that in there. Let's see what's happening. Jam paper. NYC. Store, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. What kind of stuff? Like, it doesn't have to be purple, but I would very much prefer it to be purple. Envelopes by color, by style, by size. I would like a 4x6. Squares. Come on, where are my 4x6s, dude? Also, I didn't realize envelopes come in this many sizes. 4x9, 4x6. Also, what is that? It looks like a baggie rather than an envelope, but that says 4x6, so fine. Fine. It's like the size. I don't want see-through foil. What is this garbage? I don't want a foil envelope. By color, fine. I would like purple. Ooh. Look at all the purple. But probably a lighter purple. Yeah. Do they not have a... Okay, 5. Okay, that's not terrible. Because if you can get it for $5 and then get it 4x6. Okay, that's an A6. And then it's $7 to ship. Yeah, then I should be fine. Thank you. Sam, yeah, but I've only been finding 50 set quantities on there. That's the problem. But maybe not exactly. Yeah, I saw the A6, which is about 4x6. So that actually works out. That actually works out, so I will probably see about getting that. I very much appreciate the help. Alright. Also, welcome back, Girl November. They should get... Do you refer to people there often? At this rate, maybe you should be an affiliate with them if you do. Okay, no worries. Also, I have GiftBot on, so... Because I actually remembered to connect that back to the thing a while back. Oh, do I have that here? No, I don't. I think that's browser. Yeah. Yep. I just forgot to add it on this screen. And... Excuse me. Ugh. Good thing I actually caught the mic. Or else you would have heard that full blast in your ears. Which would especially have sucked for anybody who has headphones. Okay. Hi, GiftBot, you are online. What are you doing? Hi. Pub sub. No? I should not. I connected you, you little bastard. What are you doing? Are you? Yes, I am. What are you talking about? Why are we weird like this? It says it's running. How about if I close it and open it? I know I'm not on for terribly much longer, but that is weird. I have never seen it say it's not connecting. It's connected fine every single time. So that is very, very strange. It decided it doesn't like me. Gotcha! Alright, so closed, back open, and it's joined the channel. Alright, so let's see if you work now. Ba-ba-da. There you go. Oh wow. The hell that happened? Why is that over there? What is wrong with you? Properties. Or just make this full screen. Whatevs. That was weird. Anyhow. Because I did not even notice. What is... Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it needs an update? I don't know. But yeah, I'll leave it alone. At least it popped up. Even though it was cut off to a corner, but whatever. There are worse things. I will probably just poke at that tomorrow. I was gonna say later, but it's like I'm putting more and more things on my plate, so I'm trying to be mindful of that. Also, I'm gonna check if the person we are gonna be going to... Welcome back! Which, let's see if that command works, by the way. Nope, it's down there in the corner. Welcome back! Also, I hope that doesn't get flagged. I completely forgot. Global positioning. Set to full screen. Hello? Show visual and overlay? No. Okay, save changes. I mean, at least it works, but at the same time, what is going on? I haven't touched anything, so I'm not sure why all of the GIFs are all off down to a corner. I usually make sure to put them in the center of the screen, so that is very strange. So I'm gonna be going a little bit over time, I guess, because it's definitely close to 3 hours now, like just about to be, so. And it shouldn't take me that long, it's only 6 rows. Also, let me check before I forget where we're going to be. Oh, yep, they're there. Okay. Cool. So I'll have to make sure I get their stream open, which, not sure if anybody knows them, given I found them in Jazzy's stream. She had popped in here one time. She does the coloring. And she got rated by them, and I was just like, oh, hey, we're gonna do words on stream tomorrow. And I was like, I will be there. Of course, I didn't mention I might bring my friends along. Because it is very hard to drag me away from words on stream. It is bad. Which is why I try not to play it more than like once a month. Because I know me. Alright. Oh, also, I'm not sure if I had said this the other day, but for whoever had mentioned that the website link was broken on my panels, thank you for telling me. And I have fixed it, so that should be working again. Although I do need to update the website because it's been a while. So I will probably get on that at some point. But it's not a necessary thing, since that's mostly a place so I can just, like, if someone finds it, they could just jump around to, say, the Etsy shop or whatever place. But I like to, you know, at least keep my stuff updated. Whoops. Nope. Come on. It does not feel like it's after 4 already. Like, where has the day gone? Honestly. Like, it feels like it maybe should be, like, about noon, not 4 p.m. At least to me, anyways. Yay, not just me. It's like, but I honestly feel like the timelessness is due to the fact, at least for me, it's been overcast since yesterday. So it's just like, time is relative. Time is illusion. I don't know what anything is. Until it just suddenly gets dark at like 6 something, which I hate it's getting dark earlier and earlier. Like, I hate it very much. This is the time of year that I loathe. Because that means it's getting closer and closer to being dark. Like, literally not long after I finish streaming. It's like, but, what? Because the summer makes you get accustomed to the whole, it's gonna be bright until like 8 or 9 p.m. And then it's just like, we won't be seeing that again for like 6 months. Thanks. Ugh. Seasons. Oops. There we go. Oh, so I forgot to say this. Yay are you getting orders, though. Which I am very glad for. I would have more colors of this stuff if A, I could financially be able to do so, and B, I had the space for it, because neither one of those are a thing right now. Because I would love to be able to have, you know, the entirety of the Dishy solids and multicolors. But honestly, it is not feasible right now. Because I imagined having more colors would probably make things more helpful, but then that would also mean me having to take more pictures, which, given the update of having every single one of these have a listing color-wise, I hated it. I hated it so much. Like, I was just like, if I have to take one more goddamn picture. Although, you can kind of tell that the pictures weren't taken the same time. Which, that bothers me to no end. Because I'm worried if, you know, if they don't look, you know, consistent, that might drive people away, and it's just like, I'm, like, double-checking and triple-checking things, and it's like, just let it be, and whatever happens, happens. Obviously talk about the things on, you know, Instagram, or whatever the case may have you. Like, you know, update about the things and see if you can drum up some things. But other than that, don't obsess over the thing. That will get you nowhere. And also, you say that and it's like, there are pictures I would like to, if not add, retake. Although I do think I just want, you know, like a piece of plywood or something. Well, not plywood, but you know, like, you have that thing that you use to take your photos? I might have to do something along those lines. Just because, given the nightstand I tend to take photos off of, there are, like, you notice there's, like, color issues in some places. A wall panel. Okay, thank you. I forgot what the actual word were. Which, given it's been 3 hours, I am not surprised. That is usually the times when words start to elude me. Fair. Alright, a couple more rows. This is the nice part when you get to decrease and it doesn't take you a while to get to the end of a row. From the dollar store. Yeah. The only thing about poster board, sometimes it tends to be shiny. Well, unless you get, like, certain colors. Plus, I know I'd be able to cut it in, like, 2 pieces. Like, say, if I wanted to, you know, wanted to have it on, like, say, nightstand or something. Oh yeah, the backside. It's been a while since I've actually used poster board for school stuff. Cause once upon a time, that used to be a thing. And use form that too. That too. So that's going to be one of those things, like, say, if I'm going to refresh my photos, I'd probably see about doing that down the line. Like, maybe wait till, you know, the end of this said holiday season. But yeah, it'll be nice to not have to, like, take out scratches out of the photos every so often. Because that is a thing I have to do because, you know, nightstand has some slight scratches. Nothing, like, severe, but, you know, it's enough that it's noticeable enough in the photography that it's like, I need to go hide those. Boo, 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 boo. Ah, come on. It's a good thing I was working on this since yesterday. Because I had started a bit of this yesterday, getting to the width of it. Or else I probably would have not been able to at least finish on stream today. Although, you know, not the worst thing in the world, but I like to be able to finish things on stream every so often. Ba-ba-da-da-dum. Almost there. At some point, I think I would love to possibly invest in some wooden hooks, which I know Knitpicks, well actually no, more We Crochet, but Knitpicks/We Crochet does have them. But at the same time, I have a feeling they would probably have the same issue that their needles would have, in the sense of, you know, the finish on the wood would eventually rub off over, you know, overuse and all that stuff. So it's like, probably try another brand to see how that would turn out. But it's mainly just because, you know, sometimes, say, if it gets too cold, or if it's too warm, using aluminum hooks like these is not a fun time. Plus, honestly, after a while, just using these can hurt. Sometimes I can literally feel slight annoyance in my hands. Nothing too major, but yeah. Crochet hooks make my hands sometimes slightly cranky, and I don't like it. Which is probably why I tend not to do too much of it. Alright, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You gonna get some with... Maybe. Honestly, I would just like some wooden ones because I do want to try wooden ones, but that is also a possibility. Plus, I imagine the grips would probably be less, you know, pricey in comparison, because I know sometimes wooden hooks, depending on where you get it from, are very pricey. But yeah, also we finished the thing. This is 9 by 14. I was thinking about doing the larger size I have, which is 10 by 18. But I just want to see how it looks 10 by 14 first. Which, I do like the look of this. Plus, it does help this does not curl. Which is really nice. Although it's not perfectly straight, but I imagine if I block this, that would probably fix it. Savvy, hi! I'm not gonna be on for terribly much longer, but hello. How are you doing? How was your stream? Let's see if they're caught by a commercial. They probably are. We're not finishing up. No, not at all. Thank you for that shout out, Girl November. Also, if you could shout out... Well, actually, no, I could do that. Never mind. Forget it. Because she had rated earlier and was very kind to bring her people as well, so I try to do the shoutouts, but sometimes I forget. So thank you for reminding me. But anybody hanging out here does not know Savvy. Savvy is friend of the channel. Savvy, hello! Thank you for bringing everybody, which, by the way, anybody who doesn't know me, hi, Serena Variety Caster of Way Too Many Things. You are very much welcome. I just finished a dish towel that I did in corner to corner. So I'm just sitting here chatting with everybody, but anybody who's not familiar, I do all the crafty things, hence the name, which it's a long list. Some of them involving yarn, some of them not. Thus, you know, knitting, crocheting, weaving, chainmail, spinning, which I think I forgot that the last time somehow. Digital, traditional art, and sometimes games. Usually Stardew Valley, because I like the Stardew Valley. Also, I play over 700 hours of it, so, you know, there's that too. If you enjoy the chill vibes, totally feel free to give a follow. But yes, anybody who doesn't know Savvy, who's hanging out here in our chat, friend of the channel who does a lot of lovely crochet work, some amigurumi, some knitwear, well, crochet wear rather. Knitwear is involved knitting, which she does not do. And if you want to check out her stream, totally feel free to go at the link above and possibly give her a follow if you'd like. Also, Dragon Rider Cat, if you're still here, I do appreciate the raid. And anybody wants to go check out Dragon Rider Cat, which last I checked, she was working on a Link doll from Zelda. Which I forget she does knitting, but I know she definitely crochets. But she makes some really cool stuff from what I've seen. I haven't seen a ton of, but she also makes some cool stuff, so definitely feel free to check her out as well at the other shoutout link. So, yeah. So basically, what I've spent today doing is, other than complaining about things, do dish towel, which honestly, my only main concern is that this might be a little too stiff, but honestly, I feel like this, if it gets washed a little bit and given cotton stretches after a while, it would probably fix the potential drape issue. Plus, cotton's a little bit thicker, so as, you know, like say a dish towel or, you know, a dust cloth or, you know, in the larger sizes, this would actually probably work out as a placemat easily, too. This would just be a little bit more thicker and dense and probably just as absorbent, so that would be fun. But this is basically what we've been working on. Savvy, what were you working on stream today? I did not get to see what you were doing because you got on and off pretty quickly today. Although typically you're on for like, what, 2-hour stretches or so, if I am not mistaken. Ugh. Giving my hands a wee bit of a break because, yeah, crocheting for close to 3 hours tends to make my hands wanna have some time off from doing things. Also, I'm gonna quickly open where we'll be going, but I'm gonna obviously chat with you guys a little bit before doing so, because I don't want you to having to like raid and then us disappearing over here. That would feel mean. Not intentionally so, but you know. I am weird like that. Haven't been there before. Also, I'd help if I put the... And then see about the Twitch thing. Can't see chat at the moment because I am on a different tab. So I'll just need you to give me a second. I want to make sure that I have that typed in correctly. And obviously give it time to go through whatever advertisement it is choosing to blast in my face. Ba-da-da-da-da. Alright, so... Come on. Blah da da da, Prime Video, blah blah. Let's wait for that to go away. Today I worked on another fall ruffle scarf and a mini. Ooh, pumpkin! Yay, pumpkins. I am all for the pumpkin part of the spoop month. Because pumpkins are cute and nice, and obviously they give us pumpkin pie. Okay, so they're not playing words on stream, but apparently, at least at the moment, currently playing Power Wash Simulator. Which, I didn't know that could be a game. So, But still seems like something interesting to watch, I guess. Do. Alright. Oof. Okay, my back. My back. Aw, thank you. My back is slightly complaining at me. Because I noticed it was slightly getting tense. Oof. Ow. But that's what happens when you're hunching over your work all the time, even though you know better. It's a thing. It's Dandy, it's Honey. Thank you for the follow. It took me a second. I was just like, it's what? Ugh. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're usually a bit later in the evening. But I think I saw something about you possibly having, you know, stream schedule change or some kind. Hi, let's go to my face. I'm not crafting, so it's best that, you know, I go to the face camera, because you would not be seeing terribly much. Also, it is dark in here. It is a bit dark. I was actually going to do this in the scrubby yarn, but it's just like, nah. I don't know. I don't feel like it. Also, I'm going to go see. Yeah, fair. That is completely fair. Whatever works for you is honestly the best. Let's see. Okay, so Looney's on. Let's see. Boss Kitty's actually on, but I'm not sure how long she's been on. Boss Kitty's not a place I ever get to send anybody, so who knows? How long has she been online? I can't tell on here because I read when alerts come on. I'm usually like that unless, you know, say it seems to be something that is not highly important, but I usually take the time to read the stuff and the things if I get a ping 9 times out of 10. Alright, so I'm gonna go over to Boss Kitty to see how long she's been. Because normally if I'm gonna take anybody anywhere, I try to do it like the same crafty sort of thing. Okay, how long she's been on? Okay, 2.5 hours, but... Oh, okay. I think this might be her husband TK. Yeah, TK. This is a TK stream. Okay. Which it looks like he's painting house thing, which is really interesting. Sorry, I'm like trying to decide places. Although honestly, at the same time, you guys could, you know, decide where you want to go, but I'm like, one or the other. So, do you guys want to see the house painting? Like, it's a miniature house, by the way. By the looks of it. That, or potentially power washing simulator? Which I'm curious about both. I am very curious about both. I didn't realize that was even a thing. But who knows? Uh-oh. Why did I do that? I hope I didn't press anything. Because the mouse did the thing and I was like, please don't tell me I nearly crashed something. I'd like to, you know, not do that. Oh, also. Oops. Son of a... Come back late. Oh no, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Oh well. So, before I head off, I might just pick at random who we go, let's see. But, yeah, Jane Wayne was so kind as to print some stickers, which I'll be using these for, when anybody subs or resubs, it's going to be an option on the wheel, which I already put that as an option on the wheel this past weekend when I was taking my Saturday off. So that's going to be a thing. So, and prior to today, I've been chattering about, hey, I should probably get envelopes. And I would like to, you know, not have to buy a whole bunch of them. Which, yes, it'd probably be smart to have extra, but, you know, I don't need 50. Yeah, I was just like, but you don't have to do that. I was just like, but oh. So yeah, that is a thing. Which these came out really, really nicely. So I am really happy with these, and I really do hope. Yeah, these should probably come off easily enough, because it's not like exactly like, you know, with the die cast stickers where it's like kind of difficult to get your finger in between where the backing and the actual sticker is. So yeah, that's a thing. Alright, so it is almost 3.5 hours in and I am rambling, so I think I'm probably gonna take my leave here. Savvy, I very much appreciate your raid. Dragon Rider Cat, thank you again for the raid as well. And also, it's Dandy, it's Honey, thank you again for your follow. I will be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the digital art stuff and things. I will see you guys then, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!